Huge resort, sprawling just everywhere. There's 42 swimming pools, and
Wait,
they're all, yeah,
42?
yes. Well, I read that before I went, and I didn't believe it. And I got there, and sure enough, there are swimming pools everywhere you look.
I'm Chris. Welcome to the first episode of the Upgraded Points podcast.
And I'm Katie, and we have a lot to talk about today. We are going to go over the Southwest changes and the best ways to adapt to them. We're going to talk about some of our spring break trips, and we have some reader questions. So let's jump into it. So, Chris, you just got back from Orlando, and I want to hear all about where you stayed because I've been reading a lot about this resort. So tell us all about it.
Yeah, so I just spent a couple nights at the Conrad in Orlando, and the Conrad is actually located inside the Evermore Resort. And for those who are not familiar, the Evermore Resort is this huge complex. It's over 1,000 square acres. And it's all in the middle of this big complex is a huge man-made lagoon. It's absolutely gorgeous with crystal clear blue water. It looks like you're in the Maldives sometimes, depending the angle you're looking at it. But we stayed at the Conrad, which is at one end of this lagoon. And it is, I'm trying not to oversell it, but it could be the best family resort in Orlando. And I've stayed at a lot of awesome resorts in Orlando. This place had everything. So this lagoon is awesome. They rent boats. They don't even rent it. It's all free. Boats, paddle boards, stand-up boards, and go swimming in it. It's just really nice. All surrounded by white sand beaches with chairs, and you can rent cabanas and all this stuff. Plus there's bars and restaurants and just tons of stuff to do without leaving the area. And so we stayed at the Conrad, and that's a Hilton property. So we paid with points, obviously. My wife and I each have the Hilton Amex Aspire card. And so every year that comes with a free night certificate. And to get the most value out of it, we stay at the most expensive properties, including the Conrad. It's not a cheap place. So it was selling for 90,000 points a night. So we just applied our certificates for that. And we got 2 free nights. And another perk of this credit card is the annual resort credits. You get $400 per year, broken up into two $200 credits every 6 months. So since my wife and I each have the card, we had $400 of pretty much room credits to use. So we checked in. We never left the resort. We sat there eating and drinking for 2 days. Then when the bill came, we charged it to our Amex cards, and the $400 was just wiped off. It's really nice. So just a really nice experience. The resort is beautiful. They have villas and houses if you don't want to stay at a hotel. It's just a really nice spot, and it's 5 minutes from Disney. So it's a really nice option for families.
That sounds great. I think I need to check it out, even though I don't have much interest in Disney, but I kind of want to go
You
to
don't need
Orlando
to.
now.
You don't even realize where you are.
Yeah,
You're in
yeah,
the
it
middle
sounds
of
awesome.
nowhere.
Very cool. Well, we just got back from a trip to Palm Springs for spring break. We just did 4 nights there. Um, Stayed at the Hyatt Palm Springs, and we used free night certificates as well. And that's the whole reason we picked this one. It's a category 3, I think. So it's not completely maximizing those category 1, 2, 4 certificates, but it was
Hmm.
a good use. They were getting ready to expire, and I was really happy to have a place to use them. There is a nicer Thompson down the street, which if I hadn't had free night certificates, I
Well, that's
probably
new,
would
right?
have booked. Yeah, I think a couple months maybe.
Wow.
But it's the Hyatt and also the Thompson are right downtown, like right on the main strip. So shopping and restaurants and everything you would want is right there, which was really neat. I enjoyed just kind of walking around. We found some good restaurants, did some good shopping. So that was nice. But the hotel itself isn't anything exciting.
Okay.
I mean, it's comfortable. It's not super modern. It's, a little dated, but it gets the job done and not bad for free night certificates use.
Right.
So we did 2 nights there, and we were originally supposed to do 4 nights, but I ended up getting invited by the city of La Quinta to come to La Quinta to check it out. And this is
Mm.
about 40 minutes away from Palm Springs, still considered part of that greater Palm Spring area. Um, we stayed at the La Quinta Resort and Club, which is a curio collection by Hilton, and it
Okay.
was really cool. It was huge resort, sprawling just everywhere. There's 42 swimming pools. And
Wait,
they're all, yeah,
42?
yes. Well, I read that before I went, and I didn't believe it. And I got there, and sure enough, there are swimming pools everywhere you look. And the rooms are all kind of casita style. So you feel like you're in a little neighborhood, and each building maybe has 4 rooms in it. And then Each set of buildings has its own swimming pool, full-size swimming pool and hot tub. And you can go to any of the other swimming pools if you want. There's also a big main swimming pool and a brand new or renovated complex for 21 and older. So if you want something with a little more action, you can go to sort of one of the main pools, or you can go to these casita pools, which are practically empty all the time because there are so many of them. But it was a neat resort. It felt way more vacation-y, if that's a word, than the Hyatt Palm Springs, and I really appreciated that. And La Quinta, the town itself, was really cute. A little old town area with art studios and restaurants and shopping. We did like a pottery painting experience at, oh God, I'm going to forget the name. Old Town Artisan Studios, maybe is the name. But I really liked them. They're a nonprofit, and their whole mission is bringing art to everyone, regardless of age or financial ability or anything like that. So I thought it was a really cool little place. And we did use, I have not the Aspire, but I have the Amex Surpass Hilton card, and that has that $50 resort credit on it quarterly.
Hmm.
So I use that to cover food and incidentals, and that was nice to be able to use that.
Oh, yeah.
And then my in laws were coming with us, and they were paying for their room in cash, and they were able to take advantage of the Amex offer from Hilton that's out right now. Spend, I think, 250 and get 75 back.
Nice.
And their room was actually over 500 for the couple nights that we were there. So they were able to split their payment over two separate cards, and they got $150 back, which was a
That's a
great little
pro
deal.
move.
Yes. So it was a great little trip. But
Nice.
we flew Southwest. This is my first time flying Southwest since the changes. And for no reason at all, I was really grumpy about it. I used to be a huge Southwest fan, and I've naturally sort of not flown them as much recently, but I still do fly them a lot because I have the companion pass. So everything was fine, but I was still just kind of grumpy about the changes that are coming. And as a quick reminder for anyone who maybe doesn't remember, Southwest just made huge changes. I think it's been a couple weeks now since
Hmm.
most of these have been announced, and it really just changes their entire identity, I think, in my eyes. Um, the first change they announced was something just right away overnight, you're going to earn less points on your paid fares. And
Never good.
it's no, never. Well, and what I don't like about this, in addition to the fact that they just announced it without warning, is it really does hit the bottom level that wanna get away fare hardest, and I think that's probably what most of us are buying. I know that's what I buy when I'm buying a ticket with points or cash. I always like that cheapest fare because you're not getting a business class, so
Right.
I don't need the expensive fare. But those went from earning 6 points per dollar to 2 points per dollar
That's
overnight,
rough.
which is
Yeah.
yeah, it's really rough. Now, if you buy those business select fares, you went from 12 to 14 points per dollar, which is excellent. But I'm assuming that most people are not buying those fares unless maybe you're flying for work. Um, the big thing that is coming is on May 28th. Two free check bags for everyone are going away. They said it wouldn't happen, and it
That's the
did.
big one.
It is, and I think that's gonna hit, especially families who are traveling for vacations and are checking a lot of bags. It's gonna hit them really hard. Um, so I don't like that. Flight credits are gonna expire now after just 1 year, whereas previously they didn't expire at all. The good news is that doesn't start till May 28th. So if you do have flight credits now, they're gonna be okay, but anything created May 28th or after will expire in a year. And then the other thing that's changing that I don't love is, again, on May 28th, the wanna get away fares are getting changed to basic economy. So Southwest is really going towards that just legacy carrier model with the basic economy where you're not earning a lot of points, and those flight credits will expire in 6 months, which is gonna
Hmm.
be hard for a lot of people to use. In my little experience on other airlines with basic economy, if you have a problem and you call in and you have a basic economy fare, like, you're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
So I don't love this. And then the last thing that's changing, which just happened, is the points values are going to fluctuate. And previously, with Southwest points, you would get 1.3 to 1.4 cents per point in value without thinking all the time. It was always kind of right in that range. And that's what I loved about the program is I didn't have to think about it. It was so
Hmm.
easy. As much as I love getting those outsized values on business class flights and, getting a
Right.
great deal, I loved that I could just book a flight. If I had enough points, I could cover that flight and I didn't have to worry about it. And now that's changing. It's going to be based on time of year, demand, all kinds of factors. Right before we started recording, I went and checked and just typed in some random dates, some random destinations. And I was seeing a couple that were still in that 1.3 to 1.4 range, but most were like 1.1 to 1.2. So that's a big devaluation for Southwest. That
Hmm.
is not amazing.
And to remind listeners, these rates are always tied to the cash fare. Is that correct?
Is the way I understand it, yes. They were. I think they are loosely still tied to the cash fare, but now that it is totally dynamic, I think they can kind of do whatever they want to make the
So it's
points
going to be,
worth
yeah,
whatever.
really hard for people to find those, diamonds in the rough there to get extra value from those points.
Yeah, and it just makes the whole program a little bit more complicated. It's not just a go and book and don't think about it. It's a maybe think about it a little bit situation now. So, well, as depressing as that is, that's enough talk. Let's take a quick break. And when we get back, we're going to talk about how we can navigate these new changes that Southwest has introduced.
All right, welcome back. So Southwest is shaking things up, but what does this actually mean for travelers, Katie? Can we still fly with free bags? What is the smartest strategy moving forward? Let's get into it. Katie, first question. How do we get free bags now?
Yeah, so not everyone gets 2 free bags anymore starting on May 28th, but there are still pretty easy ways for you to get free bags on Southwest. You can get status by a business select fare, have a Southwest credit card, or according to their recent press release, be a select customer. I have no
Hmm.
idea what that means, so we're going to ignore that one. So let's look at the other options. Um, A-list members and Southwest credit card holders will get one free checked bag. And the cool thing about this is it applies to the elite member or the credit card holder plus up to 8 people on the same reservation. So this is a great option for families. If
Hmm.
one person can have a Southwest credit card, then they can have their whole family on the same reservation and everyone still gets one free checked bag. And there are 5 different Southwest credit cards, so there's different price points, different perks to those cards. So a lot of people should be able to find one that's going to work for them. And that's really the
Okay.
easiest way going forward to getting a free checked bag. A-list preferred members, which is that highest level of elite status, and then business select ticket holders will still be able to get 2 free checked bags. But I'm guessing that that doesn't apply to most people flying Southwest these days.
Yeah, I've never bought a business select. I don't have a Chase card. So I guess if I were to be flying Southwest more often or planning on it, I would need to look into a card. That would make sense for most people.
I think that's the easiest way, with the card at the lowest price point, you can find them for under $100. So even at 1 or 2 trips on Southwest, if you're checking bags, getting a Southwest credit card is probably gonna be a smart move for you going forward. So there's still ways to get checked bags, but you just have to think about it a little bit more than we used to, but it's not all bad news.
Okay. Well, not everyone wants to sign up for a new credit card just to get a free bag on Southwest.
Right.
Maybe they were only flying Southwest because it made sense because of the free bags or the flexibility. But seems like a lot of people are getting fed up with Southwest and these changes. Is now a good time to jump ship? Are there any alternatives people could start looking at?
Yeah, definitely. There are always status match challenges, and unfortunately, this only works for those who already have A-list or A-list preferred status.
Mm.
But there are a couple of elevated status match offers out now from other airlines kind of trying to woo those frustrated Southwest passengers. So the first one is American Airlines, and this is through June 30th. If you have Southwest A-list status, you can do a status match to American Airlines Platinum, and if you have A-list preferred, you can get Platinum Pro for
Ooh,
4 months. So
that's a
you
good
do
one.
the status match, you get that status for 4 months, and then there are ways that you're able to earn that status for another 4 months by earning loyalty points. But if you don't earn any loyalty points during that time, you just match the status, you will have that for 4 months, and you can try out American Airlines. I have, American Airlines Platinum Pro status, and I get a ton of benefits from it. So while I'm not thrilled that there's gonna be some A-list preferred members, you know, challenging me for those upgrades, it is a really valuable status. The other option is on Delta, and this one is available through September 30th. So there's a longer leeway here that you can decide if this is the right thing for you. A-list A-list members will match to gold medallion, and A-list preferred members will match to platinum medallion. And that is good for 90 days. And I actually just did this last week.
Oh,
I am
yeah.
flying, I matched from American, not Southwest on this one, but it works the same way. So I matched. I had the match within 1 day, even though it says I think 7 to 10 or 7 to 14 business days. It
After
was really
applying?
yes, yeah. I
Okay.
submitted my application and I just had to show proof of my status. And within I think 24 hours, I had the status. It's good for 90 days. And this kind of the same way with American Airlines, if you earn a certain amount of MQDs, which is medallion qualifying dollars, you can keep that status for the rest of the status year. But if you don't, you still get that status for 90 days. And I did just get my very first upgrade last night for my flight
Ooh,
tomorrow. So I'm really
wow.
excited to try out Delta status. So, yeah, hopefully I'll
So,
have some more good news to report on that on a future episode.
all right. Well, it looks like some of the airlines are smelling blood in the water with all these
Definitely.
Southwest, fans getting a little sour. You mentioned that you have the Southwest Companion Pass,
I do.
Katie. With all of these changes, do you still think the Companion Pass is the best deal out there?
Yes, as of right now, the Companion Pass is a killer deal for a majority of travelers. And real quick, I won't go through the whole thing, but the Companion Pass allows you to bring a guest on your Southwest flight for just the cost of the taxes and fees, which is $5.60 one way domestically. There are no blackout dates. As long as there is a flight available, you can add your companion. We've had the pass for 7 or 8 years and have gotten just tremendous value out of it. It is still a great deal. If you have been thinking about getting the companion pass, now is the time to do it. Do I think it's going to remain how it is going forward? I absolutely don't. I think it's going to change. I don't see how, with all of these changes that Southwest is coming out with now, how they're going to leave the companion pass as is. I think it will still be a great deal if you can get it. What I do think, my prediction is that the credit card welcome bonus points will no longer count to earning the Southwest Companion Pass. And previously, right now, it's 135,000 points in a calendar year. So if you earn 135,000 qualifying points in a calendar year, you get this Companion Pass. Currently, the welcome bonuses on the credit cards count, which even just with one credit card is a huge chunk of that. But you can fairly easily get the companion pass with 2 credit card welcome bonuses. I would be shocked if that continues past this year. So if that's something you're interested in trying, I would grab that deal sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Do you think it's gonna change? Do
I
you
don't
have any
know.
predictions?
It's a great point. I don't have any predictions, but I can agree with you that it's an insane deal and people can get some really incredible value from it. But I do agree with you. It feels like it's kind of get it while you can situation.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It's we've saved a lot of money with it, so definitely get it while you can, because I
All
don't
right.
think it's gonna last. So let's move on to some audience questions.
Nice.
Um, First question is from our Level Up Travel Facebook group. This is from Jeannie B. And Jeannie says, I need tips on how to book 2 business class tickets on Japan Airlines or ANA nonstop from any city in the US in either fall or spring shoulder season. So early spring, late fall, February, November, that kind of time frame. I'm willing to try last minute deals or advanced bookings, which is preferred, and I have plenty of transferable points. So, Chris, how would you navigate that situation?
So this is an extremely popular question. This is something that I'm actually searching for personally myself for next January. Um, there's good and bad news. The good news is that ever since the pandemic, we've seen all of the airlines come back flying these routes between the US and Japan. All of the best airlines, Japan Airlines, ANA, even American and United and Delta, they've all increased their routes there. So there's plenty of capacity on these routes. So that's a good thing. Um, but demand continues to be there. So you're fighting against everyone, especially for these highly coveted Saver Partner Award tickets. That's what we're looking for. That's going to be the cheapest way to get there. And so to fly Japan Airlines or ANA, you're going to be, to get the best value, you're going to be booking with partners. So what I did, I flew to Japan last year. I spent 60,000 American Airline miles to fly Japan Airlines business class nonstop from New York to Tokyo. That
That's an
is pretty
incredible
much,
deal.
yeah, that's as good as it gets. That,
Yeah.
that seats $5,000. And when I saw that pop up, it's just book now, think later kind of
Mhm.
situation. Same thing with ANA. That's what I'm trying to do for next year. And you need to set some alerts. I like to use programs like seats.aero. And so when these flights open up, then you need to get on the phone and call Virgin in this situation. So what I would tell Jeannie is go and set up some alerts on seats.aero or some other tools. And then also just make sure you're following. We post all these award alerts all the time. Sign up for our newsletter. We just posted, I think, two in the past 2 weeks. Um, so just keep an eye out and just be ready because they could drop at any moment and you need to be
Mhm.
quick because there's a lot of other people with these same alerts ready to book.
Yep, yep. When you see these, book now, ask questions later.
Yep.
Don't think about it too much. Just do it.
All right. I think that was our only question for today. So we'll keep tracking these Southwest changes and more. If you want to stay ahead of the game, make sure you're following us on social media, subscribe to the podcast. That way you won't miss the next big thing in the travel news. Anything for you, Katie?
No, this has been fun. I'm excited. We have our first podcast in the books. So
Yeah,
we're looking forward to having a lot more of these and having some good conversations about points, miles, and travel.
sounds good.
Yep.
See ya.
We'll see you next time.